See, Tim Allen would have been good in this.
If Lindsay Lohan fell in love with Tim Allen.
With Tim Allen,
I think if they would have had better actors in general, this would have been better.
Yeah, we were saying it needed like somebody.
One other star to like co-star with Lindsay Lohan. Like it has to be somebody that you like recognize, even if they don't seem like a good match. I think it should have been like, I don't know, Owen Wilson. I think that would have been funny.
My vote was for Marky Mark.
That would have been hilarious.
Just a funky bunch are behind him in every scene.
Yeah. It's like, yo, bro, you fell down a hill? You got amnesia?
We should probably fall in love.
It's like, oh,
yo,
man.
bro, I think I'm falling in love with you.
Yo, bro, my fancy Christmas lodge is going out of business.
But like the potty mouth of Ted.
Yeah.
Let's fuck. It's Christmas.
It's like, so what, you saying because I'm poor, like a piece of garbage or some shit?
So because I'm from Boston, you can't fall in love with me, even though I nursed you back to health?
What the fuck, bro?
What the fuck?
Oh, so what, now your memory's back? You forget about all the time we shared?
Oh, yeah, just leave the fucking big hotel magnate dad.
You know, I don't say this much, but you're kind of a bitch, lady. Kind of a bitch.
I feel like he says that quite a bit in his life.
Hello and welcome to Every Film in the Book. It's the holiday season, everybody. We are here with our festive hats, and we're going to be very cheery and happy during this episode, right, Steve?
I'm so happy. Guys, I'm just overflowing with Christmas spirit.
If I remember to be happy, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't know. I got this bonk on the head while skiing last week. Oh, man. It's been so hard to feel the Christmas joy, you know?
Oh, my word. Join us while we try to find Steve's memories here at Every Film in the Book, the two-part holiday season spectacular, Sappy Movie Sunday.
You know?
Sit back, relax, and hate this as much as we did. Thanks.
Yeah, so we did... Is it Falling for Christmas?
Falling for
or is it
Christmas.
Falling into
Falling
Christmas?
for Christmas. Don't get it mixed up.
Yes, this movie deserves respect. We got to get the
Much
name
respect.
right.
Lindsay Lohan's returning debut to the silver screen.
She should have stayed off of it.
No.
Hey.
No.
Sorry, positive.
We're being
no
positive.
bah humbugs here. It's just a bright and cheery holiday season.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Steve.
Sometimes I'm a little Grinch.
I feel like to start this off, we should get a few things out of the way.
Yes.
Number one,
Okay.
I was glad to see Lindsay Lohan in a film.
Okay.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of grew up watching. She's similar age to me. I've seen her in all of her movies. Then she wasn't in movies for a while, so it was nice to see her return.
Mm-hmm.
Number two.
Two. Dose.
Holiday movies, if you haven't guessed, are all written by the same person.
There's one person who writes every
one
holiday
person
movie.
that writes all of the holiday one person writes all of the holiday movies, but that's okay. It's not for the plot, it's not for the storytelling per se. It's
for the
about the
feelings.
feeling, putting us in good cheer.
It's walking away from the movie going like, man, this Christmas is going to be different.
Yeah, it's a holiday prep. And also a very classic thing to do during the holidays is sit around and watch movies as with friends, family, loved ones, things like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
Mm-hmm.
B movie.
B movie. You're giving
B
it.
movie.
You're saying it's a B movie.
I would say this is more of a D movie.
I would say
This is in a Hallmark movie category for
Yeah.
me.
if the snowmobile wasn't like a $9,000 snowmobile.
That magically
And
didn't
then
work.
all of the cars, the
fancy
setting
Mm-hmm.
is A-list setting,
Yeah.
except for the Maserati.
Mm.
That's
I didn't think that could
that's
get
up
up
for
a hill
debate.
that
That's
quick.
I
I didn't see snow tires on that thing. And
well,
how did he get the jet ski on the back?
it's snowmobile.
Snowmobile
It's
on
not,
the back.
It's not really a hauling vehicle.
It was
Yeah.
it was on a trailer.
Well, I know it was on a trailer, but he didn't know how to get it off the trailer. So how did he get it on the?
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
you're being stupid.
I'm sorry.
He definitely has servants,
Oh. Well, okay, butlers.
butlers.
It's the Christmas time.
Sorry.
All right.
No, his mechanic would have got the snowmobile ready and then hooked it up to the trailer, hooked it up.
Oh.
There's,
see,
there's
I'm not
things you
rich,
don't know
as some-
because you're
yeah.
just not in the same world
Yeah,
as
no.
I am.
I don't live in a hotel. I don't have the choice to not work at my daddy's hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
if
mean,
I had a
Technically, you do have the choice not to work at your dad's hotel. It helps that your dad doesn't own 50
Yeah.
hotels.
well, it would be nice to have a jacuzzi on the top of my hotel.
Oh my God, this jacuzzi, this hot tub on the roof was a supporting actor. I swear. Like
They should have credited.
Yeah.
this hot
jacuzzi.
tub on the roof was shown a minimum of 12 times during this film.
It's like in the credits, it just says jacuzzi and then ... played by self.
and just the property management company at the end of it.
Filled by Aquafina.
Oh my God. Yeah, they really enjoyed showing those shots of the things that they could afford.
Yeah.
They really lingered with
Yeah.
that. Also the opening sequence of just like flashing all these different parts of the hotel and people being fancy and
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan
Well,
getting ready.
I think they were trying to separate the lodge from
The
the-
other lodge.
the ski resort.
The
you know,
poor lodge.
Yeah. So they didn't need to because the amount of decorations in a hotel determines the price point per room per night. So
Right.
the less decorations, the more expensive the hotel.
Mhm.
So the
The lodge was like $4.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
a bunch of Christmas trees. I mean, he was giving away rooms like
Yeah, like at the
it was a whole
end, he's
thing.
like, "Man, I'm really struggling with money," and then the couple's like, "Man, we had our whole wedding here, and you didn't charge us a thing." It's like, "Man, you're really nice. It's a shame your business is going out."
All right, well, we'll get there, Steve. We're
Yeah.
not there yet.
Let's dive in to the start. I feel
but
like
here we
do we
go.
have to?
We do.
Just asking for a friend.
No.
I mean,
All
I
your
think
friends are at this table, and we're diving into it.
I think we can, kind of lay out the plot and then, talk about our feelings.
Okay. This is
I don't
real
know.
easy.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas time movie
Yep.
where there's a sad boy
Yep.
and an unhappy woman
Who's rich
Who's rich?
who's rich.
and has a rich daddy.
The sad boy's poor,
Mhm.
And he lost his wife. She's dead.
hence sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rich girl lost her mom. So
That's not even important. Like
it's not important, but that's just a thing they say.
It's just common ground.
it's the basic two people meet
Mhm.
Mhm.
on a weird,
Yeah.
quirky circumstance.
Yep.
Oh, my velour jumpsuit got coffee on it.
And they fall in love at Christmas time. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
But
You throw in amnesia, you got yourself a movie.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did a couple neat things. The character that was ice fishing,
He should have. He
Ralph?
should have fell in love.
Ralph was cool.
He should have fell in love with that dude.
Okay, no, I was saying that from the get-go. Ralph was too nice of a guy, and he was like a little bit too into helping Tad. What was his
Yeah,
name?
Tad.
The
Tad.
rich fiance.
Ted. It's Tad Daddy.
I thought Tad and Ralph were gonna fall in love, and I'm sad that they didn't.
Yeah, he
But
got.
I'm saying-
instead, he takes the personal assistant
Yeah.
Yeah,
for-
that
That
came out of
guy-
nowhere.
for Sarah Sierra.
Oh my God.
No. The Ralph saved your life, Tad. You should have indebted
Yes.
him on a nice trip on New Year's Eve, not this freaking
Yeah.
other guy that you didn't have any interaction
He
with.
should have drove back to Ralph's place and taken him away in his stretch Hummer limo. Okay.
Swept him off his feet, and he's like, "Ralph, I've loved you this whole time. I'm so glad I didn't marry Lindsay Lohan."
Yeah. That's what I wanted to happen. That didn't happen. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, so I mean,
Move
that
on.
would make it a zero movie, I think.
Yeah, we start off with the classic. I don't even.
It's a rich woman waking up and being like, my life is so hard. I don't want a job. Oh my God, no, I'll wear the red one, not the blue one. The blue one's stupid. Yeah. That's the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you see the other guy and his life, and he's like, oh man, I'm grateful for everything. Man, Christmas time is great. It's a shame my hotel's failing.
Oh, it's almost like two people from two different worlds come together on weird circumstances.
It's almost like they read
get
a
to know
tale
each
of two
other.
cities, and then they were like, what if we did it at Christmas time?
Oh, and then there was like also stories like it's a pretty it's a cookie cutter Christmas movie. We've been over that.
Yes.
So let's not harp on the cookie cutterness
Yes.
of the movie. Classic characters bump into each other and then forget about each other.
Yes. Well, because of the amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
No, because he was a low person, Steve.
Oh, sorry.
And he didn't even remember her, which is kind of dumb.
He didn't remember her. I don't know why he didn't remember her.
I don't know. If I spilled coffee on Lindsay Lohan, I would remember that. I also would tell everyone I know. It was like, I ran into Lindsay Lohan.
I think Danielle said it, but like when they bumped into each other in the beginning here, she's just like, oh man, I hope I don't fall in love with you later in the movie. And then just walks away.
Well, I mean, we're expecting that to happen. It's like this guy has more than 4 seconds of screen time and isn't part of the hotel staff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the guy she's going to end up with.
Yeah, there's really only those like two ways. There's the one that's with her currently, and then there's the one who isn't with her yet but will end up being with her.
Yes, and it's all very straightforward.
Yes, that's all very
It's all very straightforward.
But yes, so Lindsay Lohan doesn't want to be the heiress of her hotel fortune
no, she's still going to be the heiress.
But her boyfriend is like, I'm an influencer. You could be an influencer because everybody in these fucking movies is now influencers because that's a real job now, apparently.
No, it's just really easy to get you to not like him so you're not sad when she breaks up with him. That's the purpose.
They make him an asshole.
They're always a jerk.
Yeah.
They're always a jerk. They have a douchey job and they're always like controlling and like the so Tad's an influencer. He's like, oh, I follow this guy, and he does off-trail stuff, and we're going here for like a romantic getaway, and we learn later that that's where he's going to propose. But
in the middle of nowhere,
he's like, we have to get the perfect photos, and he likes his phone more than her, and like that type of typical character.
Yes.
Yeah. Up until that point, nothing really important's happened. And then
the most exciting part of the movie, honestly, was this whole proposal into the falling off of the cliff. That whole sequence was bananas. Like
it was silly.
It was really
silly.
goofy. Like obviously you could tell when they cut in the stunt doubles, but then there are some times where it does look like they just kind of put her on a wire and she's just like sliding down like a less steep hill with her arms up like this, like falling down a hill. And I swear there was one point where I saw a wire that was left like uncut from a shot. And I was like, yep, they definitely just put her on a wire and just dragged her along for a little bit.
They didn't actually throw Lindsay Lohan off a cliff for the film, which is positive because you need to be able to cash a check afterwards.
They should have just tossed her down.
Well, then so the title of the film, Falling for Christmas, she falls down the cliff and bumps her head. And I didn't mind that they did Tad's like storyline of how he gets back because he doesn't eventually need to show up to cut that relationship off.
Right.
But at the same time,
it's kind of drawn out.
It was pretty drawn out. And if Ralph wasn't funny, I would have absolutely hated it.
Yeah. Like if it was just him like struggling in the woods by himself, it would have been
don't care. Go back to dude with the lodge.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where we learn what's his name?
The guy who owns the lodge.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't know. We're gonna call him Dave.
Lodge guy.
Lodge guy. We learn Lodge has been in the family. It was a wedding gift from his late wife's dad or something like that, and he's a core family value, taking care of his daughter with her grandmother, and classic. The lodge isn't doing too well. we need a miracle to happen on Christmas, which is something that was kind of shocking. Was the level of, I wasn't expecting like the Christmas magic to be, like, I thought it was just going to be a regular story happening at Christmas time, but the magic was blatant, and I wasn't expecting that. I will say
the magic was blatant. What do you mean by the magic?
Well, the Santa Claus looking fella selling the sleigh and doing the wish, like, it was him. He was the holiday spirit doing the magic in the film.
It was. I will say, though, they didn't set that up at all.
Nope.
They didn't even have him, like, say anything to this girl who made the wish. Like, you think there would have been, like, some interaction there, like, and she's like, oh my God, it's Santa. Or, like, something where it would make you think, like, oh, he's going to do some magical Christmassy stuff.
No, he's just a salesman at the start.
Yeah, and he was just like serving chestnuts to people. And it's one of those things where it's like they want Santa to be just some guy who was in a shop and you didn't know it was Santa, whatever. But like they didn't establish that at all, and then they just show you him like looking at her from this from the little store he's in, and he's like, nah. Maybe I'm Santa.
Maybe I'm Santa. Can you not tell from the twinkle in my eye?
And then the whole thing where she actually makes a wish and the piece of paper goes flying into the air and they both watch it go up into the air. It was so ridiculous.
And don't piss themselves. Because they're just like, they're living in real life.
Yes.
Like, they're in reality.
And then something like that happens.
And it was just like, even if it was Christmas time, I'd be like, we need to leave.
What was that?
Like, why? Because there's demons coming.
The air is possessed, I think. There's a demon.
Yeah. So it was kind of weird. Blatant holiday magic.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I have a problem with is just not establishing any sort of like character development or anything that makes me care about these characters.
Nope.
But it's fine. We're just trugging along with our whole story.
Just holiday shit movie. Did I mention it was a B movie? Like,
I think you did.
Like, I don't know if anyone in the cast gets their start from this, but it reminds me of like when I watch movies from the 80s and be like, oh my word, that super famous actor is in this? It's like 20 years from now, we'll look back and be like, that little
people?
Girl is probably going to be like a megastar in 15 years.
I think she was in The Heights.
She was one of the kids in that, I think.
Yeah.
She got most of the holiday cheer. She was a very happy little girl for her mom
dying 2 years
ago
before.
During the holiday season.
Yeah.
And you get the classic, oh, he can't let go. He's not ready to move on. Something magical's got to...
It happened... Okay, the whole span of this movie is 4 days. 4 days. I only really realized that when her dad comes back from his mini trip and he's like, you haven't seen my daughter in 4 days?
Yeah, they have to tell you.
4 days. She was gone for 4 days. She was in the hospital for a day. And then she like spent 3 days with them, and she falls in love with this guy who took care of her.
But for bruising and swelling, phenomenal hospital.
Oh yeah, she looked great.
I don't know how they did that. It was probably some of that holiday magic.
Yeah.
But it's like the logistics of it. It's a cookie cutter holiday film. This was the second one we subjected Steve to.
Yes.
And,
Steve's been a little quiet over here.
Yeah, I think it's because he didn't like. I don't think he liked the movie at all.
No, I try and get a word in edgewise. It doesn't work.
Because he's like, this movie's bad. The holiday season, Steve. The holiday season is important.
And I have nothing to say about this.
Nothing at all.
At least nothing worth it.
All right. So, I guess Michael and I are going to have a discussion without Steve then.
Very lully. Like, we knew where the story was going. Yeah. Obviously, they're going to fall in love. How do they do it in a different way than other movies? Well, they don't.
Yeah, they do the montage sequence where they show you, like, little moments of them building a gingerbread house and singing Christmas carols and like folding clothes. I don't know, like some of those things.
Stressing.
They made breakfast together. She learned how to make a bed. All of those things.
Yeah, that was.
Can't believe that's a plot.
I mean, it would have been. I think it would have been just as easy to have her do those mundane tasks, but like know how, and it would have been fine. Like she didn't need to like be a complete nincompoop with like regular everyday activities.
She was rich. She never had to make a bed before.
Yeah, but
I feel like you could put two and two together pretty easy though.
Like, yeah, even if you're super wealthy, like you could still figure out how to do a task.
I would never assume making a bed is a full body activity.
Yeah.
Nah, it was kind of because she like starfishes and flops around on the bed. Like, what is going on?
I think that was a stunt double too. Like there were a couple moments where you can kind of tell where they're not showing her face and like her movements are really like exaggerated and stuff. I'm like, that's a stunt double. Or pretty sure it's a stunt double.
Well, she could have gotten hurt jumping on a bed. You know,
well, when she was like rolling in the sheets,
shut down.
Yeah. I swear it really looked like a stunt double.
Well, and then you got to understand, like that's their job. Like that's a whole industry within the industry. So
they wanted to use them a little more than just the falling down the hill sequence.
And that's what they're for. Is for the non-important shots, and also insurance companies have gotten a lot more stringent with what they.
They didn't want Lindsay Lohan to mess up her hair, so that's more important.
No, after she got out of the hospital, her hair was immaculate. It was perfect. Rest of the film.
Yep. She didn't even have her products. It was very surprising.
So the middle chunk of this movie is very much middle chunk of a holiday movie.
Yeah.
And then, now all of a sudden we're gonna lose the lodge.
Yeah.
Oh my word, we're gonna lose the lodge. And I will not have a fundraiser because my pride is in the way. Blah, 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 blah.
I can't have handouts on Christmas.
Yeah, even it's like literally where you give people stuff.
Yeah.
It's the whole, the commercialized version of Christmas is like buy stuff for other people once a year.
Yeah.
Only do nice things once a year.
It's the only time Santa's watching.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. There's no meat and potatoes to get into.
I know.
They kind of.
The really only drama happens like 10 minutes before the movie ends because then the dad shows up and he's like, "Oh, Sierra, I've missed you so much even though I didn't give a shit about you for 4 days.
Come home with me."
Oh, Sierra.
That's
my name? Yes.
Amnesia
daughter. You're my dad? Oh, my word.
Okay, I will say, can we talk about the amnesia thing? Because it was... A, not believable, B, not written well, and C, not directed well.
Also very convenient, and then also not convenient in other places.
Yes.
It's like, okay, well, she has amnesia.
But she
can walk and talk and, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think generally people remember language, but they don't remember, like, things happening to them. I don't know. But I think it is really weird how she kept, like, looking in the mirror and going, "Who are you?"
There was some really...
like really weird things like that.
Some of it was so bad. She's like, "You don't even know who you are." And I'm going to go complain to the horse now.
Yeah. And I feel like she would have started to remember, like, when she realized she couldn't do normal things. Don't you think she would have been like, "Well, I never really had to do these things because someone was always taking care of me." And then that would lead to, like, my dad was a billionaire.
There was no, like, newspaper, like, rich girl missing for 4 days. Like.
Well, the butler that was helping out or whatever just didn't even tell the cops. He didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, the dad was like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "Well, call the sheriff." "Well, what should I say?" "Tell him to find my daughter." And it's like, bro, it's been 4 days.
And they found them, like, immediately. They were like 20 minutes from the hotel at the most.
Yeah, as soon as the guy's like, "My daughter's missing," the sheriff shows up and is like,
"Oh,
I know where she is. Don't worry."
Oh.
Ridiculous.
And that Ralph, he was poaching. Okay, it's fishing without a license. It's not called poaching if it's fishing. It's called fishing without a license.
You're not like shooting an elephant.
You're not. That's what I was going to say.
It's not like a giraffe.
Sawing the horn off a rhino. 3 more tusks and then my boss will be happy. It's like, no.
No.
That did not
also
happen.
the nicest fishing shack ever.
Oh, yeah. It looked real cozy in there.
It was. He was cozy. They were cozy. Still pissed that they didn't get together.
Right? That would have made this movie 10 times better. Anyway.
Honestly, it would have, though. If Ralph and Tad got together.
Oh, my God.
My word.
That would have been the best turnaround since The Last of Us.
So, shocker. Everybody's real generous at Christmas time. They throw a Christmas Eve party.
Okay, yeah. So the whole thing about that, Lindsay Lohan's like, oh, I'm going to come up with a whole thing to save your business, whatever. He's reluctant, and then they do. So this guy gets up and starts talking to everybody to try to make a speech about getting donations. And before he can even get words out, people just start coming up with checks that they've already had written.
Lindsay Lohan called everybody before they came.
She must have.
I'm trying to do this thing and make it look really cool to make them feel good.
Could you write a check in advance?
I hated when he started talking and then and then looks at her and she goes, "You can do it."
And he's like,
oh,
I don't think I can do this.
What am I supposed to say?
None of his friends, he knows everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's, it's his town pretty much.
Yeah.
No one in the crowd goes, hey, try to remember we've all known each other for 20 years, so it's just like having a regular conversation.
Well, literally, there's that stupid line, because you have to have that one stupid line, because, it seems like the dialogue in this movie was only written, or at least given to certain characters that weren't Lindsay Lohan, just to further the story, and that was it. They only put that character in there.
Yeah.
So this lady comes up to her and says, oh, man, I do sure wish there was something we could do for him. He's been great. He always volunteers. He does this. Everybody in the community loves him.
I wonder. I
was like, I wonder if there's a special Christmas gift we could do for him. Oh, man, but as far as I know, there's nothing. It's
and it was literally okay, how would you write this to make it sound like someone wrote this?
Or a normal conversation. That would be like, oh, man, Michael, that one guy, man, he's feeling real down and he's having trouble with money. If only there was something we could do. Oh, well, we'll think of it later.
Right. When in reality, she's seen them together and be like, hey, he's a pretty great guy. He's been through some rough times.
Yeah.
If we can make this Christmas good, maybe we can say, anything would have been more normal.
You've been hanging around him. Do you have any ideas of what we could do?
I would have accepted a montage of her calling people individually.
Hi, do you have $10,000? No? Okay. Hi, do you have $10,000? No? Okay.
But still, I just don't understand how every single person would have a check ready to go.
Because
already
it's
addressed.
Christmas.
Already addressed. They knew what they were doing.
They know what Christmas party means.
Well, in the movie's defense, we didn't get to read the flyers.
The flyers could have said, bring your checkbook.
Bring a check. It says, bring checks.
I want to know when the mayor comes in first.
Yeah.
And so he definitely had a conversation with everybody waiting outside in the mountains in the cold saying, let me go in, count to 9, and then everybody come in after.
File in.
I'm trying to do something cool.
And also, none of us are going to show up on time. We're going to make them sweat a little. Everybody show up about 20, 25 minutes late.
Yep.
Show up in just enough time that even after the holiday season, the checks don't get cashed and they still foreclose the friggin' lodge.
No, but the
3 days late.
I mean, the other thing is the mayor makes the hotel a historical site.
Yeah.
So now he's getting sanctions. He's going to get help with preserving a historical site. So all these people giving him money are just giving him money to just be like, hey, you wear pretty shitty clothes, go buy something.
Well,
because you don't need it for the hotel anymore.
I mean, just because you're a historical site doesn't mean you can't take donations. They definitely still would.
No, but there would be for a lot of the stuff where we live is here in the city is a historical site. So they're a little bit government subsidized.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely still take donations.
It would have been okay.
It's a joke, guys. It's okay. We don't have to go that deep.
No, we're going that deep because we have the holiday spirit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the creepy dude with white hair that didn't get any explanation was
well, he was in red
Wink.
and white, so it was Santa Claus.
Yeah, it was pretty it was obvious what they were doing, but it was also like you could have said like one or two lines.
Well, it's either it's Santa Claus or it's a creep who's staring at a kid a little too long.
He was either gonna take the girl or make her wish come true.
Yeah,
one or the other.
So it's either a Christmas movie or a horror movie. They went the Christmas route.
Well, and then the other thing about always having a Santa Claus in a movie is like, how is there always a local Santa that's just hanging around? Like, if it were Christmas, he'd be busy.
I mean,
he would have gifts to deliver.
I don't want to say this.
What? He wasn't really Santa Claus?
He might not have been the real Santa Claus.
Are you kidding me?
He could have been a helper
that had that much Christmas spirit.
It's like his cousin Ned, like Ned Claus. He works as a chestnut seller.
Old Saint
James
Ned.
Claus. Yeah. He's pretty handy with the small towns.
Old Saint
Frank
Ted.
does the cities.
Yeah.
Some of the second cousins do the small towns.
Yeah, Jeff covers New York. We cover everything else.
The East.
So then, like, after this whole thing where they're just like giving him checks in a basket, like it's like a church taking tithes on Sunday or something. Like,
they should have just passed the plate around.
Yeah, right. Everybody put in your check.
Really, Ted? Only $50? You realize we're being foreclosed, right? Okay, cool. I'll give them this $50 check. Hopefully that'll stop them.
It's like you realize it's $148,000 in back taxes first.
It's like you've seen the property, right? All right, this is like $1 million property. Yeah. What is this $50? You know what, Ted? Keep this. You obviously need it more than I do.
That's the thing. Like, how did 11 people keep it afloat? Like the property taxes on a mountain. Like, because it's a ski lodge. Like, they would have owned, like, a significant land.
Just lots of land.
Like, oh, my
Kicking
word.
people out. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Get the fuck out.
Steve, we were keeping this holiday episode PG. What happened?
Oh, sorry. Get the heck out.
Anyway, so then, the billionaire dad shows up. And the moment where she realizes that her name is Sierra and she gets her memory back, I guess. Like, I also don't think that's how amnesia works, where you just hear your name and then you remember everything.
The horse should have kicked her in the head, and then she would have been like, my memories are back.
Bartholomew should have just
decked her right in the head.
She should have fallen again to regain her memory.
It's like she's like giving her life story to the horse. She's like, oh my God, nobody understands me. I can't do tasks. Just kicks her in the head.
Would have been better if it just headbutted her. Like, oh, do you want... Pet my snout.
Shut up.
So she suddenly remembers everything. And then just runs off.
This new family that she suddenly loved.
4 days.
And like the guy even was like, hey, are you going to forget all about us once you get your memories back? And of course, she forgets all about them the minute she gets her memories back.
No, but that's not how amnesia works. You don't forget what happened during the time that you lost your memory. Like, it doesn't get erased.
It replaces those new memories with your old memories.
That's Christmas amnesia.
Yeah, it's like deleting your current hard drive to make room for the new
just
stuff.
overwriting files. I think that's all it is.
She's like, who are you people? What? We've been taking care of you for 4 days. I don't know who you are. Kidnappers.
But it's the classic. They burst in during the party where it's a little bit embarrassing and it's sad, and the grandma's like, oh, I thought maybe that my son-in-law would have been okay once again,
It's a shame you had to get your memories back and go back to your life.
And then
my grandson could have been happy.
Another classic case of the 8-year-old knowing exactly what to do more than the adult who's feeling the feelings himself.
But Dad, why don't you just tell her you love her? Holy shit, daughter, I didn't think of that. Get into my horse-drawn carriage and let's go save a billionaire.
Well,
oh my God.
The snowmobile wouldn't start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a Christmas miracle.
Well, earlier in the movie, the snowmobile wouldn't start, so it didn't start for him again. So it was like that was like the only continuity thing they did.
It's because he was too busy dating this girl. He didn't do his job. He didn't fix the snowmobile.
And also, for someone freaking out about losing what was probably a considerable income.
Yeah.
Lots of money.
He was not freaking out nearly enough, and he should have been in a much worse mood. But pretty girls make guys do stupid stuff, so I guess we can chalk it up to that.
I didn't pay attention to how much the sleigh cost when he was looking at the price tag, but I'm guessing it was like over $1,000 at
probably
least.
as much as that.
Well, and that's the thing.
Whatever.
like hand done metal, like those are several $1,000s to get handmade ones.
So then it was just left outside of his house, and instead of being like, who put this here? I just saw this for sale, and it's not mine.
Listen, kid. Did you just steal this sleigh? we have to handle this now. But Dad, we have to go tell her you love her.
This is a felony.
No. We are going down to the sheriff, and you're going to explain to him what you did, little girl.
It does the classic 4 hours earlier, and she's just like,
stealing the sleigh.
I need my dad to be happy because my mom died.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like the end of the movie is just them in the police station. Her like sitting on one of the benches. Now, you can't be stealing. You owe that man an apology.
No. They just straight up put her in juvie.
She's just in handcuffs like, Dad, but it's Christmas. Well, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
It's the classic jail scene where they throw her in and they're like, you should have thought about that before you stole the sleigh. They throw her in, you just hear, fresh meat.
Oh, no.
Bad boys. What you gonna do?
So I think the movie's over now.
Yeah. Well, so it wraps up real quick because Lindsay Lohan, she already decided she's gonna go back to this guy like immediately. Yeah. She doesn't even second guess herself. She's just like, yep, gonna break up with the guy who I'm engaged to. Tell my dad I'm gonna go live with the lodge dude, and she does an interview, and then she just shows up.
She shouts out the lodge.
Yeah. And that's like, everybody should stay at the North Star.
Yeah.
But she got them booked out for the remainder of their season, which for a Christmas hotel, their season's already done.
I mean, it's a ski resort, so depending on where it is, they probably had like maybe a month or two at best. But,
yeah.
I mean, still good income. You know what I mean? Not bad.
They sold out.
It's like, hey, are you the hotel that rich girl died at? Oh, cool.
I'll
take a week.
But yeah, it wraps up real quick. They
make like a memorial around the tree that she bonked her head on. It's like, here's the famous tree that got our hotel famous.
There's somebody taking that'll be $10.
$10 a picture.
We're actually struggling a lot more than
novelty photo. They like attach you to a sleigh and they have you like slowly bonk your head into the tree, and it's like the rich girl experience.
It's off. The sleigh's posted off the ground so you can like lay on it and be like.
The caption says like, I lost my mind at the North Star Lodge.
For an extra $50, we'll actually give you amnesia.
Christmas movies are so bad.
Ted over there will hit you with his Louisville Slugger and recreate the experience.
But yeah, they kiss, but they don't kiss because it's not actually Lindsay Lohan.
They kiss by a Christmas tree.
And that's it.
They live happily ever after.
Yep.
Now, and then they did the classic happy movie blooper reel at the end. Which,
to make it feel...
Those are cool. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, those are fun to see.
Yeah, I like seeing them.
Like, we're aware that it was a movie that got made.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was kind of neat to see. And
but then, like, the bloopers end up being better than the movie.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It also was kind of funny to see her, like, Lindsay Lohan, like, enjoying herself.
Right.
Like,
because it didn't seem like she was having a lot of fun during the movie.
No, she was confused. She was confused and afraid, and then staying at a stranger's lodge out in the woods.
I can definitely do laundry. Okay. Oops.
I think we can all agree her experience could have been much worse in this film.
Yeah, what if she ended up with Ralph out in the middle of the woods? That would have been a great love story.
Well, maybe not Ralph. Ralph seemed like a pretty stand-up guy.
He was a good guy.
I know. I would have preferred that love story.
Except when he just tosses the hatchet to the influencer.
Right at his face.
And it's like, that could have gone really bad. It's just...
That would have been a fun turn for the movie. That axe just embeds itself in that dude's forehead. And he's like, well, good thing I'm out here. And he just pushes him down the ice fishing hole.
Like, never be seen again.
They won't find him till thaw.
I'll be far gone.
Oh, my word.
Just put some bricks in his pockets.
It's like, I can't go by Ralph anymore. I'm going by Chuck.
Oh, my word. Well, I'm out of both beer and holiday cheer.
Yeah.
But,
hear that? It's empty.
That's probably going to sound terrible. No, we wanted to do a couple, feel good, silly movies for the holiday season.
And Steve, how do you feel?
Next question.
All right. That's a hard pass. This movie did not make me want Christmas to be sooner or anything like that. I think I think that's just that's more for if like you have a family and children.
Right.
But as a regular person, not the best movie.
Yeah, like
holiday fun.
There's
don't have
Christmas
to pay
movies
attention.
out there that you should spend your time on that truly make you feel like it's Christmas, make you believe in the magic of Christmas.
Right.
But like when you have movies like this where it's just, what if we take a shitty amnesia plot and just set it at Christmas? And then
throw Lindsay Lohan in there.
Yeah, like we'll toss a couple million into it. Netflix will back it, and we'll make a passable product. Like people will be on screen.
As far as the genre it's in and what they were trying to do, there's much worse Christmas movies. There's much better Christmas movies.
We were looking at much worse Christmas movies, I'm sure, to try and find a bad Christmas movie.
This one was
year.
bad enough, though, so I'll take it.
Yeah, this one was fine. So just be ready for some like really brutal horror movies coming out from us here at Every Film of the Book. We're about to just crank it.
It's gonna be nothing but depressing movies like Requiem for a Dream. Fucking like let's get like what's more movies where like somebody's like kid dies and
I don't know.
Really effective.
that's the bar. It's like, all right, are we doing this one? Does a child die in it? Okay.
Go back and watch Prisoners again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's torture him.
Guys, we're doing a week of Prisoners. We're putting out a new episode on Prisoners for a week straight.
Yeah, leave us a comment what you want us to see.
Oh my word.
As long as it's brutal.
It needs to be angry and devoid of Christmas spirit.
Yeah,
we're going into the new year. We're all miserable.
But, you know, it's still Christmas, guys.
We're all not miserable. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Some days.
This will be coming out exactly on Christmas.
Right.
So
it's Christmas today.
It's
Steve.
If you're listening to this, what are you doing? Go open your presents.
Go open your present. Because you don't have a dad that owns hotels. So you get one present.
You either get a helmet, a pair of boots, or a book.
Nah, but
I think that just about does it, honestly.
Have a little fun from the holiday season.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Stay safe. Tell somebody you love them. Hug your mom.
Hanukkah.
Hug your mom.
Yeah, hug your mom.
Tell your dad he did the best he could.
We're not listing all the holidays.
Kwanzaa.
I do Christmas, so Merry Christmas. If you do other holidays, happy that one.
Happy everything else.
Happy holidays.
Every holiday in the book.
All right.
Yeah,
I think we've ended the episode and found the title of the episode.
Yep. And we'll see you next year for some more fun movie goodness, I guess.
Okay, goodbye.
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 Bye.